If you go on Amazon, the challenge on Amazon or all the marketplaces today is you go on, there's a lot of Chinese companies out there producing very Walmart level or cheaper stuff. And they are at top of search. That's where they are. They're working on 5 cent profit and they're low. They look to cut corners and they look to cheapen the product and they look to find pennies because that's what they're working on. You look okay.
Okay. Feel okay? Okay. How do you feel though? All right, let's do it. Hey everyone, it's Alex with Couch.com and I'm here with Yoram Weinrich, the co-founder and CEO of Simpli Home, one of my favorite furniture brands. How are you today, Yoram?
Everything is good.
I really gotta say, I think you may have the best glasses in the furniture industry. Where did you get those spectacles?
These are my designer glasses. This is a new look that my optometrist foisted upon me. But it's my
You've been foisted?
Yes, I've been foisted. You saw the Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yes.
I'm foisted. See, this is my regular looking glasses.
Oh my goodness.
My screen glasses that are, she foisted them. I got foisted.
Okay, they also look really nice too.
They're very stylish.
They're very stylish. All right, let's move on. We are not here to talk about glasses. We are here to talk about furniture. You have been in the business for quite some time. You have an amazing supply chain network, an amazing quality product. I know because I have my own Simpli Home couch right here. And I've spoken with a number of people from your company and I hold it in very high regard.
We want to produce product that we like, that we're proud of. We don't want to cut corners and cheapen things to save $5. As an owner of a company, as an entrepreneur, there's a little bit of an element of legacy. And there's a little element of you want to do stuff that
you want to do the right thing. And yeah, that's the right thing to do.
I don't want to produce crap.
Of course.
Some people do.
Of course.
Yes. And and that level, there's a lot of volume. If you go on Amazon, the challenge on Amazon or all the marketplaces today is you go on, there's a lot of Chinese companies out there producing very Walmart level or cheaper stuff. And they are at top of search. That's where they are.
Dominating. In many categories. And I'm thinking outside of furniture too. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, and they are because they're working on 5 cent profit and they're low. They look to cut corners and they look to cheapen the product and they look to find pennies because that's what they're working on. And because it's low price, it clogs up top of search and it's not like a mall where you can go and say, I want to get West Helm or I want to get Walmart. It's a challenge. And we're devoting a lot of resources, including Couch.com, to identify ourselves as what we're putting behind the picture and what we're doing because it's all invisible to the reader. It's on the picture.
I think that's amazing. And I actually, first of all, everything you just talked through is incredibly interesting. I think a good lead into this entire conversation for the users of Couch.com is this topic that we're discussing right now. How can your average user differentiate between, everyone takes a leap of faith when they buy something online. How can they differentiate? Let's say they're shopping a marketplace like Amazon. How do they differentiate between something that is of good quality and of not good quality? I feel like I have a pretty good sniff test, but then I'll order the back massager that I'm like, oh no, this was crap. Whoops, I made a mistake. You don't want to do that with a $2,000 couch or whatever the case may be. So what are your tips? What would you do as a consumer to differentiate?
It's a challenge. To be honest, it's a challenge. The marketplaces have not successfully segmented their audiences so that they're aware of, that they're clearly aware of what they're shopping at. And especially in an area that's as poorly branded as furniture, it's a challenge. For sure, it's a challenge. I think the real thing that you have to do when you're shopping by picture is do a bit of research and see that it's a brand. If you look up Simpli Home and you go to our site, and you go to Amazon, number one, you got to read. You got to take a look at you got to look at the specs. You have to understand what is the spec, what is a good spec, what makes a quality product, what makes a quality couch. We can take $100, $200 off that couch or more behind you, probably more in terms of my cost. So we can make that couch.
Oh, yes.
We could sell it.
The packaging alone. I've been talking to everybody all over town about the packaging. It's unbelievable. But keep going.
You look at the leather, a big element of a quality couch is the fabric. There's a huge range. I could call anything real leather. And the scope of what is on that couch behind you, which is an aniline, what's called pull-up leather, which ages and you see the wear as you go along and you get that patina and you get all that, versus a really good semi-aniline, which also is nice, But again, there's different qualities of 7-11 line, but it's more uniform. It doesn't have that, it doesn't age in that way. And it's a different look at a quality couch, but it's way cheaper. Or you can go to buffalo hide. If you get out of India, you can get a buff hide, which is a third of the cost of the leather. So, and everything's real leather. In terms of fabric, you're looking at things like rub tests. What's the rub test on the fabric that indicates either commercial grade at 50 or 80,000 or 100,000 rub tests, which means how much it can be rubbed until it starts to wear.
Quite literally, yes.
Right, or residential 25,000, does it have recycled material? Our leather, for example, as well, is an environmental leather, which there's a lot of elements to what it makes an environmental leather. Our
kind leather.
Kind
yes.
Out of Brazil. And the fabrics does it have recycled material in it? Does it not have recycled? What's the touch feel? And a lot of things you can't get from a picture, but we have a lot of rich content and we try to put as much as we can and we try to put videos. It's a challenge. It's really a challenge, but you got to educate, especially in such an expensive purchase where you can find a couch that looks like that for $500, but it's not.
I feel very validated right now because this is quite literally what I'm trying to do with this platform, Couch.com, to really help the retailers, manufacturers, and suppliers, distributors, everybody in the industry that's actually doing really good, hard work to have them come to the front, because there's so much noise right now and everybody makes a couch these days. But knowing which one is a good one that's going to be a great quality and safe for your family for a long time is very difficult. I guarantee you this, Yoram, if someone just is watching this and just heard you talk through all of that, 100%, I would buy a couch for me. Are you kidding me? But they don't have access to people like you. You're a busy CEO, right? And that's really what I'm trying to do with Couch.com. And I think that's ultimately what the industry needs. So thank you for validating my feelings on this Monday morning.
Look, the reality is that especially with a couch, is there's so much is hidden and so many details that you're looking at. You could do a section on the interior structure, and you can do a section on foam, polyfill, and feathers, and how that creates comfort. You can do it on zigzag versus zigzag web versus webbing, zigzag spring versus webbing versus 8-way hand tied, and the difference in the seating comfort. And
all articles we have at Couch.com, by the way, but keep going.
Okay, I'm trying to help.
Okay, you're doing great.
and the wide variety of quality of fabrics as well, and what that means in terms of seating comfort and durability and commercial grade versus non-commercial grade and all the rest of the stuff. Other than saying, okay, that's a $500 couch, that's a $2,000 couch, people really don't understand. And it's difficult. I would have to read, right?
We all do. That's what I say. And that I say to everyone, I don't actually know all of the answers. I couldn't go to a couch website or sofa store and tell you every single thing you might need to know. If you're really concerned as a consumer about getting a good quality product, you have to do some digging. That being said, there are a lot of really good quality. It's not like everybody's trying to scam people in this industry. If someone's been in business for a long time in furniture, they're doing something right, whether that's a mom and pop retailer down the street from you or a manufacturer. I think that generally one can trust a lot of the furniture that they buy. Your average consumer sniff test will probably weed out some of the bad eggs. But I think reading and learning about brands a little bit more is very important, like you said. How did you get into the furniture industry? You don't choose the furniture industry. The furniture industry chooses you. Do you feel that was the case, Yoram?
I'm not sure.
Wow, really batting 1,000 here, Alex. Poof. All right, how did you get into the furniture industry? Tell us the story.
The company was, for the first 10 years or 12 years of its existence, a sourcing company. And we supplied, I lived overseas for a number of years. I came back with 3 children, having to start trying to make a living at 40. And it was early days of the internet, 2000. Alibaba existed. My partner, who's my brother, was working at Home Depot at the time. We had another partner there for a while. And there's an opportunity, and I had sourced certain things already and found a couple products that were very cheap, and I could way cheaper than in Home Depot and things like that. And I started selling opportunistically a wide variety of products, everything from polyurethane architectural molding to inflatable hot tubs, to patio furniture, to gazebos, to outerwear, and furniture. So one of the products was furniture at that time, And
Wow.
so we started doing that. Some factory design, some of our designs, you're at the beginning, and you know what? We created a range of products and showed it to Home Depot Canada. And we got it in for quite a number of years. And then we went to Walmart, we went to Zellers, and we went to a whole bunch of different companies. And we were looking for sales reps to get us into different retailers, and we were scrambling a bit. And a Canadian rep group approached us and says, "Hey, would you mind? Do you mind if we take some of your products and sell them to Costco Canada?" And so then they asked me to go to that first meeting with Costco because I was a product expert in the furniture that we're producing in Vietnam. And the good thing about working with large retailers, you do learn how to make quality products because everything has to be tested.
Oh yeah, I worked with Costco, and they'll chop that thing up and make sure all the bits.
Right.
Yep.
So we had to go through all that testing process, third-party testing labs, and so we produce quality product. So when I went to Costco, this was for Costco.ca.
Got it.
And I said, "How much?" It was 2012. And I said, "Who buys furniture online? That doesn't even make sense." This is stupid. Anyway, so I went to the meeting and they told me the volume they were moving at that time. And my jaw dropped and I went, "How much are you selling?" And they told me the quantity. And I said, "Really?" And so it opened my eyes. And we said, "Okay, we'll bring a couple containers in for ourselves. And we'll try to get into some online guys in the US and in Canada." And we did. And we said, "Okay, we're going to sell 100 pieces a month, 50 pieces a month. It'll be great. That'll be great. There's some extra money. Hallelujah." And we launched around Black Friday in 2012. So we didn't really feel anything. And then we suddenly got on, I think we got on Overstock first, and then Wayfair, and then Amazon. And by the second Black Friday, by the first real Black Friday, the few containers that we had in stock just went boosh and disappeared on Black Friday. And we went, "Oh, that's exciting."
Think we got something here.
And at that time, I was taking pictures myself of the furniture in the corner of the thing, and I was writing the comments, and I was doing the traditional thing, and we were just bootstrapping everything. And in those days, it was the good old days that you didn't have to pay for advertising, and there was not a lot of people online, so we were top of search. And so we grew. We started with around 60 product, and we quickly added a lot of product in a lot of different categories. We added upholstered ottomans and our bathroom vanities and our laundry cabinets. We started going higher end with doing ready to assemble furniture with
Higher end versions of that.
So we did rubber wood, a solid rubber wood, solid acacia, solid mango.
Makes a big difference, but yeah, keep going.
Yeah, and we're doing with oak veneers and walnut veneers as well. We, this year we introduced sofas, higher end sofas, our couches, and we just introduced 4 new styles right now, and we're going to introduce another 4 styles in the fall, and probably another 4 or 8 styles in 2025. Trying to get I think around 20 styles in stock, and we're moving higher and higher. I think that the path to knowledge is through ignorance, and if you are aware that you're ignorant and you go and seek to educate yourself, especially if you don't want to get a basic couch. If you are not looking for an inexpensive couch, that could be quality couch for what it is, which is the $300 and $400 and $500 couches. They are that price for a reason. They have cheaper materials, cheaper fabrics, cheaper that. They're good for what they are potentially. They probably pass quality. They have 4.5-star reviews. It's all fine. But if you're going for a more expensive couch, and what we are at restoration hardware level. And we're not restoration hardware, but we're Crate and Barrel, Pottery Barn, West Elm level in terms of quality. But we just do it at a great price. But in order to know that, you have to go to a platform like yours, where you get educated and you say, "Okay, what should I want if I'm spending so much money?" And once you get that clarity, then you can take a look, and you can always communicate. On our website, you can go to our customer support and communicate and ask. There'll always be somebody to educate you. It is expensive purchase. It's a couple $1,000 or $1,500 or $1,000. That's not a little bit of money. What we're trying to do is create something that's durable and that you can live with and be comfortable with for a long time.
This has been a wonderful conversation. You are clearly a deep resource for knowledge and education on this industry. I'm probably going to tap into it at another time if you let me. We have a lot of topics we didn't cover, but I hope we can have you back at couch.com to speak to the good people in our community about various things that you know a lot about.
Thanks very much, Alex. I appreciate it.
Okay, and link to Yoram's classes will be in the notes if anyone's interested.